So it's still out there yet.
It's still out there, but
Possibility that it
it's,
can go.
yeah, it could go either which way.
Such other matters is authorized by law.
I do have one thing. A Chicago Street resident approached me today. That road is looking real rough. I took a ride this afternoon. We replaced a couple, those must be manholes along that street. One in the first couple blocks, so in front of North Shore Bank, and then the second block over. The gravel actually looks nicer than the parts of the road. Near the gutters, we have some sinking asphalt that after the rain today, or this morning, it was very evident that that water just kind of sits in a puddle. There in front of your mailbox, when you go get your mail, you get to step into that. So I approached Joel on it, and he said, you know, this is part of our, again, capital improvements plan, probably sooner than later. We were thinking maybe 2021 or something like that, huh?
Hopefully.
Yeah. So the storm sewer was a concern, and maybe it's just that water isn't making it to the curb and gutter. It's sitting in these puddles that are the low spot before you get to the curb and gutter. Possible Band-Aid on it would just be repaving, grinding and repaving that, which would bring that level up, and hopefully the water would make it to our storm sewers. But that's also one of the streets that is labeled for a complete redo as well.
Reconstruction.
Yeah.
21 or 21 if you know.
That's our tentative plan. I mean, it goes with financing and how the budget's looking and everything else. I mean, who knows if it will be 2021.
Yeah.
So I told this resident I'd bring it to all of your attention, and I'm glad that I heard this is something we're looking at already.
Another residents talked to on Sunday too.
Yeah.
Asked about Chicago Street. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, because our other streets we had were 4th Avenue and Oak Brook.
And now since Ed Kraus is off the board, we don't care too much for Chicago. Doesn't mean that we don't want Chicago Street residents.
That was on our list.
I have one other thing that
I have something.
in the cow meeting that I missed. The compost site and Pittsfield's interest in it was discussed, and I saw that in the notes of it that we were going to be meeting, we were going to have at the next cow meeting Pittsfield to talk to them about it. And I'm kind of wondering if it would be a better idea if we came to a position on it before we talked to Pittsfield. I had the impression that we didn't really come to any agreement on anything.
Not really.
And it seems to me
The
that
consensus
it
I
might
got
be.
was that they felt that Pittsfield would have to contribute more money than they
Would care to.
cared. Well, they just brought, they brought the figure out of 5,000.
Yeah,
I had a conversation with Keith tonight. I happened to talk to him about something else, and he asked about it, and he said he was waiting to be asked to come to the cow meeting in order to talk about it, and they're still, according to him, they're still real interested and willing to pay whatever. And
Yeah.
so
Well, the next cow meeting will be in mid-June, so.
We won't have one in May.
I mean,
May.
I'm sorry, yeah, I'm
So-
ahead of myself.
so are we still
No.
going to invite him to the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think we should.
okay.
Okay.
I guess I would prefer to have our position solidified, I guess, but if that's what the discussion,
Yeah.
if that was
As
the
far-
agreement,
as
then
far as
that's
cost?
the agreement.
As far
Yeah,
as
right,
number-wise?
how much, I
Okay.
mean, it seems to me the big question on it is, how much stuff are they gonna have? We know the amount that we have costs about, on average, over the last 10 years, was it?
I don't have
16,000 something. And so if they have an equal amount as us, well, it would probably be 16,000 and maybe 20,000 because you know, we have our land that isn't added into that equation that they get to use, and so it strikes me that that's the big question, how much will they use it? And if it's 50%, if it's 100% of what we do, or 150, but it's unlikely to be only 5,000. But, I mean, again, if the agreement was we talk to them in the next cow meeting as opposed to hashing it out amongst ourselves, then that's the agreement, and that's what we'll do.
Well, I think, Bob, the conclusion was that $5,000 wasn't gonna be enough to
Right.
cover.
Mm.
And
Okay.
when we were showed the numbers, I mean, we easily went up to that number too,
Yeah.
to put it in that area. And then as we were bandering it around, that's when the idea came across as far as, well, let's bring us all together and see what is an acceptable situation. But
I think policing it too
I think
was
we
an
are
issue.
truly looking at a 16,000 plus.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Well, okay, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then the question was too, to have us girls in the office, Joel, his public works, to do, you know, that we wouldn't have a work burden on us too. And they talked about town of Pittsfield possibly issuing stickers on their parts so that they would have a sticker like on their windshield when they'd come into the compost site. And if the officer on duty was checking, or the camera or whatever, they could tell that, yes, they
Yeah.
do belong there. Because we talked about too, how are we going to man that? If
Right.
we have
And the
it locked.
difficulty monitoring
And
it.
that's the other thing that I told them, if we're gonna bring somebody else in, we're gonna have to have a 24-hour camera surveillance of that facility. Period. And so you're talking, you know, several $1,000s to
Upkeep the camera.
to do that. And third time, such other matters is authorized by law. 16 department reports, Public Works.
Spring cleanup, we've touched on that before. Everything's up on the website along with, this is the free dumpster week down at our shop. Utility wise, we're still waiting for the DNR on well 2. That's why you have not seen any spring hydrant flushing. Hopefully it's soon, and if it's not, hopefully it's gonna be before the next board meeting, and then we'll notify people as far as on the website, Facebook, as far as spring hydrant flushing. And that's it.
Thank you. And the 1 week recycling event started today and ends on the 10th.
Correct.
Utilities,
Nope, we're good.
police department, Mark's on vacation, and
He's on the beach in California right
he had
now.
nothing.
Let's call them.
He's having one of those fancy
Gary, do you
drinks.
have
and
Yeah,
rolls and
probably.
fruit. I do not.
Bill, anything? No. Number 17, communications, board meeting review is Wednesday, the 8th at 4 p.m. Pulaski Village Hall. Mike Diener, the Chris Esther will be present. Rooms Tax Commission meeting is Thursday, the 9th at 1:30 p.m. at Pulaski Village Hall. The Economic Ad Hoc Committee meeting is Tuesday, May 21st, 2019, at 7:30 a.m. at the Premier Community Bank. We schedule a committee of the whole for May, and I'm suggesting the 20th or the 21st.
Either one's fine for me.
20th works better for me.
Okay, 5 p.m.?
Sure.
On the 20th, on Monday?
Yes. And the regular board meeting for June will be the 3rd, 2019 at 6 p.m. at Pulaski Village Hall. Number 18, to adjourn closed session as per Wisconsin State Statutes 1985, sub 1, sub C, sub E, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, review and discuss compensation, individual non-union personnel, public works, and utilities.
I'll make that motion.
Bruce?
I'll second.
Second by Cory. Roll call.
Gordy Black,
Yes.
Bruce Birchkowski?
Yes.
Roger Birchkowski?
Yes.
Robert Gieske?
Yes.
Doug Prentice?
Yes.
Chris Smith?
Yes.
And Reed Woodward.
Yes. Everybody.
Have a good night.
Right.